Hey guys, welcome in on a very, a happy Tuesday now here, April the 4th. It is Sports Memo Today. I'm Raineri filling in for Mr. Dan Alexander. And in usual fashion, we've got two of the very best over at sportsmemo.com here today. Give you an opportunity to get to know them if you don't already, and lay out a couple of their best bets coming up this week. We're going to talk a little soccer here with Pavlos Laguretos coming up, and right after that, we'll get Jesse Schule in here, and nobody has been better when it comes to the NBA Finals than Jesse, and he has a couple of plays here that you should absolutely be looking at. You can catch both of these guys over at sportsmemo.com. So let us bring in our good friend Pavlos here today, who has been absolutely crushing it on the pitch as always. Pavlos, I would expect nothing less. Number one over at sportsmemo.com in your 5% releases here over the last year. You've been crushing it. 35-17, my man. Congrats for another profitable soccer season, man. What else is going on over at sportsmemo.com for you?
There's all kinds of soccer. Now we got midweek matches. There's cup matches across all Europe. We got CONCACAF Champions League as well. I got a 5% best bet loaded for tonight, 8 p.m. Eastern. There's all kinds of soccer action going on. Won both my 5% over the weekend. Profitable weekend overall, 7-2. So super excited. I'm gonna keep it going. And there's a lot of soccer going on. And I've got a couple of free plays for you guys in different leagues, so everybody gets paid.
Love it, man. Listen, if it ain't broke, don't fix it, Pavlos. That's what I'm talking about. So let's start it off with the German Cup that we've got coming up. This is going to be tomorrow, Nurnberg versus Stuttgart. And you have a interesting play in this one. Tell us what you're looking at.
Okay, this is the quarterfinal of the German Cup, so it's a single match. Whoever wins, they move to the semifinals, to the first of two semifinals. Now, the two teams they're playing in different leagues. Stuttgart, they're playing in the Bundesliga, and they're doing a really bad job. They're sitting at the bottom of the league, dead last, threatened by relegation. And Nurnberg, they're playing in the second-tier division, or the Bundesliga 2. They're 3 points above the relegation zone. So you got two teams who, in their domestic leagues, they're kind of fighting to avoid the relegation. But now they're called to fight against each other in the quarterfinals of the German Cup. Now, Nuremberg, they've been quite solid at home so far, even though they have 6 wins, 6 losses, and 1 draw. Those 6 losses, 4 of them, they came against the top 4 teams in that league. So whichever team that's mediocre or bad, they beat them. Or at least it's a draw. And Stuttgart on the road, they've been really bad over the last couple of seasons. They have just 1 win, 16 losses, and 16 draws. So they're really horrible on the road. They're winless on the road so far in the season, and they're traditionally just really bad. They can't play anywhere else than in front of their own home crowd. Now, the line here is set at 0.75 or 3/4 of a goal. I'm going to go with Nuremberg plus that 3/4 of a goal, which is a split line between Nuremberg plus 1 goal and Nuremberg plus half a goal. So even if they lose by 1 goal, this bet is a safety and it gives us a half loss. So I'm fading Stuttgart here. I think the home side is the way to go. So I'm taking Nuremberg plus 0.75 at minus 125 here.
Great stuff there, guys. Hop on board with that one. And again, the semifinals, German Cup tomorrow, Wednesday this week. We also have, and I think some folks might have forgotten here, Pavlos, the MLS alive and well in an intriguing season thus far. Cincinnati taking on Philadelphia this weekend, Saturday in this one. Tell me what you think in this match.
Yeah, this is also a very interesting match, and I'm 5-1 by the way, and I won my 5% in the MLS over the weekend, so it's been going really well. I faded Philadelphia a couple of weeks ago, and I'm gonna fade them again in this spot. Cincinnati, they've been really good so far in the season, still unbeaten. Actually, the only unbeaten team in the Eastern Conference, 4 wins and 2 draws so far. They're playing really good defense as opposed to last season where their defense was just terrible. Their offense is looking good, their defense is looking good. And now the most important factor is that Philadelphia Union, they're engaged in the Champions League this midweek. So there is a these are very distracting matches because they have the first leg tonight, and then they have to play in the MLS against Cincinnati, and then a few days later they're going to have to play the second leg on the road against the Mexican side, Atlas. So these midweek Champions League matches, they only serve to distract whoever is engaged. And now Philadelphia Union, who, yes, they're really good at home, but on the road this season they have struggled, and they're very close to, last season we saw the Seattle Sounders in a similar position, in a similar spot in the season when they went on to win actually the Champions League, but at the cost of a playoff run, which was actually the first time in the history that they didn't make the playoffs. So the Champions League is a distraction, and I believe that Philadelphia Union will have troubles over the weekend. So we're backing Cincinnati with minus a quarter goal here at plus 100. I think that's a very, very good price, and it gives us the safety of just a half loss in the event of a draw.
That's a great price for the undefeated Cincinnati team. And, love that angle. Distractions, not a great thing there, Pavlos. But the good news is that's what we've got you for, to find these angles and these edges. And if you head over to SportsMemo.com, hop over to his page there, guys, and get on board. #1 in those 5% releases here over the last year in soccer. And he is continuing that money train. No reason not to get involved here with Pavlos. Always a pleasure, my man. Listen, best of luck with the rest of the plays this week, and we'll talk to you again soon.
Thank you.
Awesome stuff, Pavlos. Hop on board over at sportsmemo.com. Nobody does soccer like he does, without a doubt. And our next guest has absolutely dominated the NBA, specifically the NBA Finals over the last 6 years. Has a 20-6 run when it comes to picking with the NBA Finals, whether it be MVPs, teams, you name it. Jesse Schule joining us here. SportsMemo.com is where you can get him. And Jesse, it's a hell of a run, man. You've been locked and loaded over the last 6 years in the NBA. When it comes to the finals, you know exactly what MVP we should be honing in on, and of course, who the ultimate champion is going to be. What do you got going at SportsMemo.com here for us this week?
Well, I'm happy the baseball season's back. I got off to a great start to last year's baseball campaign. I'm off to a reasonable start so far, not as big as it was last year, but got a couple baseball plays today. If I hit them both, I'll be hitting 70% for the year, which is that's what we're looking to do. And of course, I got another hockey play. We're getting geared up for the playoffs on the ice and in the NBA.
Kind of hard to believe, Jesse. Here we are, right? NBA, the playoffs and the trek to the finals will begin, and there's still some future markets here that folks are paying attention to, and I guess we should, because a lot of question marks in this MVP market this year before we make it to the begin the playoffs and end the regular season here this week. Just 3 or 4 more games are left. Talk to me about this NBA MVP market. What are we looking at?
Well, it's a hot topic, and I think Embiid is the fan favorite. And if it was even money, I might even think I might even take Embiid at even money, but it's not even money. Embiid's a 220 favorite, and you got Joker paying out at plus 240. They were supposed to face off in Denver a couple days ago. Of course, Embiid didn't end up playing. Joker got a triple-double. Joker hasn't played since. But, I mean, if you look at his numbers, points are a little bit down from last year's MVP campaign, but assists are up. He's actually closer to averaging a triple-double than he has been in his previous MVP campaigns. The issue is, I think there's probably a lot of people that don't want to see him win 3 straight. We haven't seen anybody win 3 straight MVPs since MJ. Guys like Curry and Kobe failed to win 3 straight. And for Joker to do it, there's probably a lot of people that would rather see Embiid get it. But in my mind, Joker is the most valuable player. I mean, MVP stands for most valuable player. That's what the V is in there for. And one of the problems Embiid has is the Sixers are 9-4 in the games that he's missed this year, while Denver's 3-7 in the games they've played without Joker. Embiid's scoring a ton of points. He's having himself a great season. I just think Joker's more valuable to his team, and he's a more complete player with the assists, and he's averaging a triple-double. I mean, what more can you say?
I never understood that argument. Like, either he's good enough to be the MVP, whether it's 2, 3, 4 times in a row, or he's not, one way or the other. But the argument can certainly be made. Nobody more important to their team than the Joker here at plus 240. So not a bad look there. And speaking of his Denver team, some people have doubts here still about what their ceiling is. What should we be looking at when it comes to the Denver Nuggets as we get ready for the playoffs?
Joe, I actually like this bet even better. For me, maybe Denver's not the best team out there if everybody else is at full speed, but all the other favorites have their problems. I mean, Denver's the best team in the West. Denver's going to have home court throughout the until the finals, but the favorite is the Phoenix Suns because they picked up KD. But let's face it, KD staying healthy for the entire playoffs, that's a tough ask. And then KD and Chris Paul both staying healthy at the same time, that's damn near impossible. And as good as KD is, without the Splash Brothers and Draymond Green, he'd be the Lord of no rings. So, I like Denver as opposed to the Phoenix Suns. And then the Warriors have their issues with Andrew Wiggins' personal problems. The Grizzlies have their issues with Ja Morant's legal trouble and behavior issues. And Denver just seems to be the steady, safe bet here. They're going to have home court, getting 325. I'll take the plus money on Denver.
It's a great look. Denver to win the West and to have, of course, the MVP when it's all said and done. The Joker, two pretty good plus prices there for the Denver Nuggets, and so much more still to go on with Jesse Schule. Of course, he told you baseball season up and going, the NHL playoffs, NBA playoffs getting ready here. Guys, would highly encourage you in all of those sports to hop on over to SportsMemo.com and check out Jesse Schule, who is locked and loaded this week. A lot of baseball, a lot of NHL, still some NBA, Jesse. A little bit of everything over at your page at SportsMemo.com. Best of luck, my man. Thank you for taking the time here today. We'll talk to you again soon for sure. Jesse Schule's where you want to head over at sportsmemo.com. Partner up with him here, guys, especially nobody. I mean, a 20-6 when it comes to the NBA Finals and those MVP awards. Over the last 6 years, nobody has had their finger on the pulse of the association and the finals quite like he has. So visit him over at sportsmemo.com. That'll do it. Want to thank Pavlos Laguretos. Want to thank Jesse Schule. Dan Alexander will be back on Thursday. We'll have another edition here of Sports Memo Today. Until then, best of luck with everyone's plays. We'll talk to you again soon. Good luck.